Wonderful, thank you. So then, well, as Peter has already very thoroughly explained, the e-learning offer at the Basel Institute is anything but theoretical. It's rather about hands-on engagement and helping participants gain actionable skills. And you will see these topics very much resonating with what Thierry will tell us now about the training offer of the Basel Institute, and also how he's increasingly integrating technology in his on-site training. So over to you, Thierry.
Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Peter and Jacopo, and thanks, everyone. Good afternoon or good morning, depending on wherever you are. So as Claudia said, yes, I'm the head of training here at the International Center for Asset Recovery of the Basel Institute on Governance. I've been with ICAR for 10 years now, developing, designing, and delivering training programs, mainly for law enforcement, prosecutors, judges, financial intelligence unit analysts on financial investigation, asset recovery, financial analysis, and related topics. So it is really a pleasure for me to take part in this extremely interesting webinar. Within the past 10 years, I think I've seen the way we deliver training really change. The philosophy behind our training has not, but the way we deliver it has changed tremendously through the use of technology. And this is what I am going to explain a little bit now. So let me just share quickly my screen. And could you confirm to me that it is showing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you very much. So just a few information about first what we do. As you know, the International Center for Asset Recovery is part of the Basel Institute on Governance, and it is provide technical assistance to partner countries and developing their capacities on financial investigation and asset recovery. And one of the way we provide this technical assistance is through training and hands-on training to law enforcement, and through all the stakeholders of the asset recovery value chain. And over the past 17 years now, because the ICAR started to conduct training in 2008, we have trained more than 4,000 practitioners in more than 40 countries. And currently we have 10 courses, instructor-led courses that we deliver. And from the results that we have had so far and from the studies that we have conducted, the studies that we have conducted have shown that, well, 100% of the participants have rated the training as good and excellent. But more important for us, we have seen that 90%, 80 to 19% of the participants that we have surveyed have testified that the training has changed the way they conduct their work, which is definitely the most important thing for us. It's this being able to bring a paradigm shift on the way financial investigations are being conducted, money laundering investigations are being conducted, or asset recovery processes are made more efficient. And as you can imagine, training alone will not make these changes, but it definitely is an important part to provide the necessary knowledge, but more importantly, skills to be able to make changes and be drivers of changes. So what are the principles and methodology that we use at ICAR to be able to achieve such results? And it's quite very simple. I think the one that I'm going to mostly talk about is the very first principle that is very important for us, is learning by doing, that we can also call experiential learning or experiential training. We don't just tell participants what to do, we invite them to experience and to learn themselves by doing it. I will explain explain that a little bit later, how we integrate that in our training. Then, as Peter said, we customize also our training to a country's environment, legislation, and we use customization tool so that people can relate to the materials that we present. I'm not sure they will be very much interested in hearing about laws in Switzerland or laws in Madagascar, or just hear about the conventions. They want to make use of the tools that are available in their own country. Say if we do training in Malawi, then we're going to talk about Malawian jurisprudence, Malawi court system, Malawi laws, because this is what they're going to apply in their daily work. Our training is also practitioner-led. All of the trainers in the training team of ICAR are all practitioners. They are either investigators, prosecutors, or financial intelligence unit analysts or judges. And we also like to have an integrated training, meaning it is multi-stakeholders. We do not just train one agency, because we believe that all these stakeholders need to be trained together to be able to have a common approach on tackling these difficult issues. And we are always trying, of course, to think of how we can make the training feel real, and how it sticks, and how it leads to real skills, and focus on how we can really maximize the impact of the training, because something that we just don't like to do is ticking boxes for the sake of conducting training. So when we train law enforcement officials to investigate financial crime, we're not just teaching concepts, all right? We are preparing them for complex real-world scenarios where the answers, where the evidence are not just handed to them freely. They're not just flying onto their desk. They have to go out and look for this evidence. So, for example, you see a financial investigation can be quite complex. You have complex legal structures that you have to untangle, hidden ownership, cross-border flows, a lot of financial data that you have to analyze and sort out. And as you can imagine, lectures and PowerPoint alone won't prepare our participants for the complexity of real-world investigations. So we need more than these. So our approach has been, as I said, more based on real life scenarios or realistic cases. So we put together this simulated investigation, which we have developed in every single courses that we are using. And each of the documents of this simulated investigation is like a real piece of evidence that you will cover in a real investigation. You will have newspaper article, bank statement, mutual legal assistance responses, FIU to FIU cooperation, information that you will gather on open source or possibly also summary of interview of witnesses or other relevant persons. So we create all these documents, usually about 50 to 60 of these documents, and they are all passworded. Just like in a real investigation, as I said, you will have to earn this evidence. You will need to identify, first of all, the information that you need, where you can find this information, identify, all the relevant sources of information, where you can find that information, follow the right processes that are existing in your country. You need to solve problems and have critical thinking around the documents that you are gathering. So the question is, how do we recreate that real world scenario in our training? Because obviously we have a limited time during our training. It's usually 5 days. So how do we replicate that? In the past, we used to be paper-based. We printed all these documents, and we also put passwords on each of the Word or Excel documents, and we put them on a flash stick in each individual laptops. So you can imagine all the work that created. But as Peter said, I think the use and the introduction of the Basel LEARN platform as really is quite a revolution in the way we deliver training, because it has allowed us to give the participants a much more realistic environment, more automated environment, and one where they can be fully immersed in this investigation. So it is definitely a game changer for our training team. And Peter also mentioned the e-learning courses. We use them very much as well as sometimes prerequisite for our more advanced instructor-led on-site training. So how do we go about this practical exercise or this simulated investigation? As you can see here, all these documents are passworded. So to have access to them, participants need to follow leads independently in teams. All right, they have to uncover this evidence step by step. For example, they analyze a bank account and they identify maybe one transaction that is suspect, that is suspicious. So they will see if it would be relevant, for example, to talk to the beneficiary of that transaction, if possible. And we discuss with them what would be the process for them to talk to that. And if they tell us what is the right process, then we give them the corresponding password. So for now, we have all these documents embedded in the Moodle platform, on the Learn platform, and they uncover it. Each group is uncovering these documents using these passwords. But something to push the realism further. And I just wanted to say also that it's really for these participants to think like investigators, all right? It is not just for us to hand over documents to them. It's for them to make decisions, follow the money, and solve all these various problems. So the integration of technology has enhanced furthermore the realism of this simulated investigation. So in most of our courses, we have integrated, just like in the real world, databases that participants may search freely, that is available to them. For example, like as I said, maybe in one document they see a name of a company, like Modern Bow, for example. Then they need to think, where can I find in the information about this company independently? And there are several databases that we make available to them. Maybe it's going to be an internet search, a register of companies. We have a National Registration Bureau. This will depend very much on what's available in the country, what's available, and depending also on the type of training. So we prepare these fake databases so that they can on their own, without the need of an instructor, find the information. So, for example, they would do some fake Google searches where they find websites of companies. Obviously, we put information in those websites that would possibly lead to further information, or news. For example, this is like a gossip website that is talking about the wife of a public official. So that contains information that would lead them further to get more evidence or follow the money trail or follow the assets. They also have other registries or databases that are technically should be available in their country, like, for example, the register of companies that are usually available either publicly or to law enforcement, so they can go and search on their own for companies that they find in the course of their investigation. Or, for example, if they have the registration number of a car in the context of their investigation, we make also available for them a road traffic, a car registry, so that they can search on their own. Something that we have developed also, we are conducting crypto courses, so we are allowing participants to use also a fake blockchain explorer, so that they can follow transactions, crypto transactions on the blockchain, just making it very, very realistic. And Peter will talk to you as well, but we're also currently trying to develop and integrate also artificial intelligence in our training, particularly in trying to fake interviews, like witness interviews, where AI is going to replicate a real witness, a witness that is going to look real, and the participants are going to ask questions to that witness directly using this AI-powered tool. So it's all very exciting, but why do we do so? Is it for just the sake of making the training more attractive? It's certainly more attractive because it has this element of gamification that, of course, is always attractive, making the training less boring and making the training more hands-on. But why is this working? So we have to remember that we are mostly training adults. And adult training needs some very specific skills as well, and very specific tools and approach that you need to consider. So there's been some research around adult training, and it's around the self-determination motive or theory, where autonomy, relatedness, and competence plays a very big role. Autonomy increases the motivation and engagement of the participants, where they can, on their own, without the need of an instructor, do these searches, conduct this investigation on their own. And they feel there's an instant gratification when they discover this information on their own, and that plays a lot of role in the learning process, because they have been within their group trying to solve a problem, and through discussion and experimenting have been able to find the solution. So in this way, the learning process stays, rather than, an instructor them just showing the way to them. So it really fosters ownership of the learning process. So this is all in all I wanted to say. I think maybe Peter has a couple of demonstrations, I'm not sure, but quite happy to answer questions if you have any. Thank you very much.